Hello everyone, this is what I hope to be the start of a series, but in fact it's just me ranting on about something at 3 in the morning because I can't sleep and I've been thinking about this game all day. So this is a match in which could have swung in either way. So let's just start off with, I'm the T90MS Hades, a tank with good DPM, good firepower, good penetration, good punch, and it's fast, but it lacks armor. My friend, Jay, or Mindless Tanks, is with me. Now, the original idea of this match, which is a very keep it simple stupid plan, is for us to advance along the riverbed, take this point, deny their snipers, and give our team control of the map. Now, I am thinking of this plan for quite a bit of the battle. We can assume that given the enemy type on the other team, the Wilk, AS-21s, lots of MBTs, that this side of the map is going to be relatively heavily fortified. And while the T90MS can certainly get to the spotting point, which is going to be at F2, sorry, it will likely die in the meantime. So, instead, we're going to move on to this side of the map. It gives Jay the ability to spot the enemies, and as a T90MS is a pretty useful deterrent versus other MBTs of the same tier and above. 700 AP damage is nothing to scoff at, and I can certainly penetrate most of the tanks, if not all of them here. So aside from that, we're just going to be moving on around, moving back and forth. I tend to do this quite a lot. It's not ADHD, I promise you, but instead most of the time I'm keeping my eyes on the traces. There will certainly be an enemy vehicle up there spotting us or going to shoot, so we need to keep that in mind. Jay has his Humvee, which we can guess is going to be reasonably well done, well spotted. I can't remember if he has a Affiliate or not, and you can see me getting spotted. It is most certainly not that Armada, so it's going to be somebody else. We can assume that the possible scouting locations for enemy vehicles based on the art is going to be the Centaur 120, the Thunderbolt, the two AS-21s, and the Wilk X8. Now, both of the AS-21s are up on the hill, so we can discount them. That leaves it to the Thunderbolt. Thunderbolts don't tend to have that much of a good view range, so it's likely he could be here. The Centaur maybe as well. Wilks tend to be very sniper-oriented players, so it's likely the Wilk is either going to be at F1 or E0. This is, well, F/F0. These tend to be sniping positions, and since they're wheeled vehicles, and wheels tend to be very dangerous, I don't know what clan he is in, but we can assume in the very least that he is a very sniping oriented player, so he's going to have a bolt plan. He's going to have a runaway plan in the event he gets spotted. So, game plan, spotters here, sniper/spotter here. T14 Armada 152 in the middle. Now most players, when they go into the riverbed, are either of two minds. Either they are going to suicide rush, or they're going to attempt to get into a spotting position, such as I originally wanted to do. However, now I am in a supporting position waiting for my turn. Let's play by the match and see what happens. We can assume that the T14 is either going to come down by the riverbed, or he's going to go for the 2AX. If he comes down by the riverbed, he's not going to have much support. If he goes for the 2AX, we can assume that those guys that are possibly sniping are going to be helping from here and from this side as well. So Centaur 120 is over there, but he couldn't have spotted Jay. So who is spotting Jay? Is someone going to be over there? Maybe. In the meantime, however, I'm not getting spotted. Now I don't believe a Merkava would have been able to spot me. 630, unfortunately I bounced on him, but that isn't the focus at the moment. The focus is on where's everybody else. Where's the Wilk? I'm not sure where the Thunderbolt is. Actually, no, the Thunderbolt's over there as well. That leaves the Wilk as a definite over there. Now, shot came in. Definitely the Wilk. No other, all other enemy tanks on their team has been spotted, except for Merkava 4. And if if that had fired, it would have been spotted. Okay, so we've got that to deal with. T14 is now going to start slowly making a play. The play season is actually quite safe, and for now I'm simply baiting the Wilk shots, seeing where he is. Now, at this point in time, it looks like the T14 is going for the 2AX. Good idea, the 2AX is a one shot for him, he can definitely take care of him. That does leave some things. Of course he's out in the open and exposed, but now he's in good cover. Unfortunately, this does mean, however, that this places our team in a bit of a quandary. I'm going to open up my screen here to see what I am thinking of. So, I made this a little bit earlier. So, as you can see here, myself and Jay are over here. Now, the T14 has 2 spotting locations. He can either be at this bit here or this bit here. These gives him places he can go hold down. He's a large tank, but he's also got an unmanned turret, which means he's practically immune to doing so. The Wilk is also either going to be here or he's going to be here. Each time gives us spotting fire. Now, if we attempted to get rid of the Wilk, that would expose us to the T14. But, like the T14 did, I have the option to be able to go down and engage him. In terms of everything versus the T14, this is the T14's armor layout versus the T90MS, which means that I reload faster than him, he does more damage than me, meaning that I want to be able to pin him down and make him slightly distracted. So I hope you mean what I said there. So this is the 2 locations I was talking about. A T14 can quite easily pop out, see people, draw fire, here, and here. We can also assume that the Wilk is either going to be located here, or here. For now, I can't do this to save my life. Let's see how this plays out. So I'm going to differ around a bit, and if we notice that T14 has taken a hit, meaning that he is within a potential one-shot range for me if I'm using heat rounds. If I'm using AP, not so much. But remember, I have my Humvee here. I have a K135C. All I have to do is to drive him out of that position enough time for Jay to fire both of his missiles, which the Humvee can do so. So now I'm going to make my play. I'm going to rush across here. I might take maybe 1 shot from the Wilk, but that's a survivable hit. I can take it. Now remember, if I can take out that T14, the Wilk loses its eyes. So let's see where he is. Now, in terms of what the Armada is probably going to be, he's probably going to be facing side on. He is. Okay. Let's see how we do this then. He's going to be side on to me, and I'm going to bounce on him. He bounces on me. However, I know that I reload much faster than he can, meaning that I can potentially drive him out of cover. Aim the lower plate. Done. Now, Jay all this time has not been doing anything. Well, he has been doing something. He's been getting into position for that T14. And now, those javelins are going to rain. 1, 2. T14's down. Centauro killed him, but Jay did that shot to allow him to do so. So we know he's dead. So now I can proceed with the original basic plan of advancing along the riverbed. The Wilk, fast tank, he's probably already made his getaway, but that means that I still have to move up. I can't afford for the Wilk. I can't afford for the Wilk to remain in that position. Now this entire time I was thinking, okay, he's either going to be there, maybe not. Is he down here? No, he isn't. Okay. So at this point in time, it's a 6 versus 6. We are pretty heavily outmanned on the MBT front. They still have a Type 10 and their 4M. They have their Wilk. And we have a bunch of AFEs and TDs, soft skin vehicles. They have a much heavier team layout than we do, but their T90MS is AFK. We can assume that AFK T90MS is still there, so that leaves one out of the draw. A mistake at this point, while I could have potentially gotten a lot more damage, it would have lost us the match, as I would have been focused on killing that T90MS. So now, the riverbed plan is secure, so now I can advance along with the city, meet up with the Cat B and everybody else, and go together for the Type 10 and the Merc 4M. At this point, this entire time, I need to move into the city, as that Wilk's firing lane, the Wilk is probably going to be around the A2 area, as it will give it the ability to basically fire into the city and along here. So in order to avoid the Wilk's fire and get myself in a position where I can hit the rest of the enemy, I need to move along the city. And in doing so, this also means I can also form up with the rest of my team. Now, not much happens along this part, unfortunately. No enemies are really spotted, which means we can assume they're not in the city. Point proven right. The Merkava 4M there. The Merkava 4 is a slow tank. We know that he wouldn't be going there unless he had support. Which means that Wilk has got to be somewhere. The Wilk is both fast enough to act as its own spotter against MBTs, and is deadly enough to do other things. Which means, we now move on to graph number 2. Essentially speaking, we can assume that the Chanter 2 guys are here, Hunter there, Wilk firing location is displayed, purple line showing me where to go, there and there. We know the 90MS is gone. I can't assist the S21s, who's either going to run away. So, let's stick with that game plan. Take out the Wilk. He's probably going to be in any one of those positions, or he's going to be running. Either way, I shut down this flank and make sure he can't get away. If he wanted to get away and move into the city, he's got to come down here, which leads him into the path of my MBTs. Okay, so we have a game plan. Let's move with it. And then I remember this entire time I'm thinking of always what to do next. So let's move across. Riverbed. Now remember, this entire time is that Wilk could have spotting eyes on me. This means is that I need to start pointing my turret in the direction he's probably going to aim at me. I am loading heat rounds at this point, and now I am turning my heat F shells in the direction I want it to. As of right now, I can assume that the Wilk would have spotted me by now, which means he's not in that first location. Now, the T90 mess doesn't unfortunately have enough acceleration or grunt to be able to get up here, so ripperoni there. However, we can now assume that the Wilk is either probably going to be coming down with those guys, but like I did with the Riverbed originally, I have to be able to make sure that he's not down there, because if he's down there, he gets a shot at me, he gets a shot at the Cat Tab, he gets a shot at each alley. We know that the S-21 is basically going to die at this point. No doubt about it. The Hunter is AFK, and right now I am making a more risky play than usual, but I am absolutely paranoid that the Wilk must not be here. If he's here, 4-second reload, he has the potential to shut me down, put a shot in the Cat B. The Cat B is our ace in the hole. While the Challenger 2 has the hit points, it does not have the armor or the gun to be able to be much of a threat to either the 4M or the Type 10. So the next thing to do right now is assume a different route. We can assume that by going up there, the Wilk is no longer here. And if he's no longer here, this means he's somewhere down there. Loading back to AP. Now, what to do this time? A mistake at this point would be to assume that I can simply go along the city, shoot with the 90 MS, I get 3000 damage done. But that means I could possibly lose the match. While I'm definitely the squishiest tank we have, I'm also the fastest, having speed against the Cat B, and I'm also relatively low to the ground as well, meaning that I can avoid fire, and I'm no more agile than I am. Okay, now I'm spotted. Smoke up there. We can assume that in terms of everything going, is that it probably isn't the Type 10. It probably isn't the Wilk. The Wilk will probably be down here. If so, he would have spotted me earlier. It's the Type 10. The Type 10 has Ophidia, which means we know he's not using a stealth build. Since he isn't using a stealth build, this means I can actually move up and maybe get into a position to lock him down. The Challenger 2 is taking the route of kill the 90 mess for free damage. Okay. So, what to do? Now I'm getting spotted. I can assume that it probably isn't going to be the Type 10. Okay, it's the Wilk. I know where the Wilk is now. We can assume that the Wilk is going to be on this side. This means that the Wilk's firing lane is going to be all the way over here. You see he's over there. But we can also assume that I'm also locking the Type 10 down as well. If I'm locking the Type 10 down, that means that this means that me being perma-spotted by the Wilk means that the Wilk is going to be distracted by here, and we can also assume that I'm also going to be able to lock down the Type 10 as well. That's a good trade. Even if I don't do damage to them, this allows my Cat B and my Challenger 2 to be able to advance freely. So all it is at this point is a fun little waiting game. A waiting game that if I'm going to win, it's a waiting game that I'm more than happy to do. Again, there's only 3 of us versus 3 of them. They have a more powerful team composition than I do, but they don't know where our Challenger is or our Cat B is. I know where their Type 10 is and where their Wilk is, since I'm still being spotted. And remember, since I keep moving up and over again, this means that it's impossible for the Type 10 to get out. And if it's impossible for the Type 10 to get out, this means he's still in this location. So, now the Type 10 is moving across. This means that the Type 10 and the Challenger 2 can either take out the Note 4M, and we know that the Wilk is now getting steadily pissed off and annoyed at me. in that he actually wants to start shooting me, which is good. This means he's now invested in shooting me. The Wilk is now dead. Okay, the Type 10 is down there. Now an ITMS versus a Type 10 is still a possible kill in favor of the Type 10. But I can also lock him down. And now he's taking a big hit from the Cat B because he's decided to remain there this entire time. So now, this results in me getting a good kill on the Type 10. Ramming hit there. And goodbye. Sweet Prince. If I can't pin his low plate, just ram them instead. Now, if I hadn't have been there, that Type 10 and that would have been free to engage the rest of our team, possibly even kill them, and as we know, that Challenger 2 is no real match for a Merc 4M. But the Cat B is. I'm at full health, maybe. I am able to somewhat out-trade a Merc 4M, but at the same time, bad idea, because the Merc 4M has a ready rack, I do not. So now, we know that the Challenger is going to die. How much damage am I going to do by myself? 1300 is nothing really. It would be a good match for tier 1 maybe, but I have in fact made it possible for our team to win, and as you can see in my mind's eye, being able to successfully deny ground and be able to do so we could be able to lock the enemy down, figure out where they were, and formulate a strategy able to take them down. I know this sounds quite tactical and everything, you know, like super tactical cool with like an airsoft rifle or something, but this is me simply explaining things, and I get the kill on the Merkava. Good. So we can simply sum up that winning matters more than doing damage or anything else. I had my game plan, I executed it successfully. I made sure that the enemy wasn't in an ambush position for us. Remember, that Will could have been anywhere. If I had found him in any of those places, I would have been able to do damage to him and to possibly kill him. Even if if he wasn't there, and since he wasn't, I wouldn't get damage, but I was still able to give myself and my team that knowledge that he wasn't there. And in the end, being able to be in those places meant that in the end I was able to lock down both the Type 10 and the Wilk, meaning that our team was able to go from a 3v3 to a 1 versus 2 in my favour, and to a 2 versus 1 in our team's favour. I hope you enjoyed this little video anyway, guys. I hope to be able to make more things like this in the future to give you perhaps a view of what I'm doing, what's in my mind eye. I'm no exceptional player. I mean, like, I've only got a 58% win rate and, 3,200 damage per battle? But these kind of things do allow me to win more than the average person. So, and it might even help you guys. The ability to have a game plan, a very simple one at the very least. It doesn't have to be in one stage, it can be multi-role stages as so from there. Simply adapt, but always have a level head and to be able to think about what you're doing rather than simply rush across, is what happens with many players. So for now, I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. I am trying to get a replacement microphone, which you can see in the little bottom corner, about $65, so my terrible scratchy ass voice can be better. And anyway, that's it for now. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you all next time.